Today I'll be unboxing the brand new DJI Mavic 4 Pro. Instead of wasting any time, let's get right into it. I went with the basic version that includes just a single battery and RC2 controller. Since this model isn't officially available in the United States yet, I had to purchase it through a third-party seller. I honestly wasn't 100% confident it was legitimate, so I decided to play it safe and not invest too much money right away. Luckily, everything worked out perfectly. Inside the box, you'll find all of the familiar components that DJI usually includes: the drone body with the battery already installed, a set of extra propellers, a 100-watt charging block, the standard RC2 remote controller, and like 1,000 international plug adapters. There's also the classic pouch that I didn't even bother opening. Now let's move on to the main star of the show, the drone itself. Right away it feels noticeably heavier and bulkier than the previous generation, and that impression is correct. Even the gimbal protector has grown to a massive size, but I actually like how it doubles as a propeller holder. The body is built with the same DJI quality you would expect, but there are some design changes. One major difference is that the folding arms can now be opened independently, and the rear arm doesn't even touch the ground when unfolded. The gimbal design itself looks a little unusual compared to the sleeker Mavic 3 version. I personally prefer the old look, but aesthetics don't matter much here. What counts is the technology. This gimbal uses a better sensor system, can rotate vertically, and even offers 360-degree motion. And once the drone is fully unfolded, the size becomes even more obvious. To really put it into perspective, let's compare it with the older models. Here it is side by side with the Mavic 3. Notice how much smaller the Mavic 3's body, and especially its gimbal, are. The new propellers are also huge in comparison. And like those old PC cases from decades ago, it seems the DJI grey plastic on older units tends to turn yellowish over time. Now, looking at the Mavic 2 Pro from 2018, the body shows even more aging and wear. See how far DJI has come in terms of build and size. As for the remote controller, since I got the base package, it came with the standard RC2. I may eventually upgrade to the Pro controller just like I did with the Mavic 3. At first glance, the new RC2 looks nearly identical to the older version, except for the external antennas. Hopefully, these antennas improve the signal, because my previous controller constantly dropped connection around tall buildings, forcing me to buy the Pro remote. This is the Pro version that I had to get. Too bad I can't use it for the Mavic 4. If the RC2 doesn't perform better, I may have to purchase the RC Pro 2, but again, it has external antennas, so I'm hoping it will be better. Now let's see the battery. Thankfully, DJI stuck with the rear loading battery design, which I think is much safer than the old top loading style. When compared to the Mavic 3 battery, the physical size looks almost the same. The Mavic 4's battery is rated at 6,600 mAh, while the older one was 5,000 mAh. That doesn't sound like a massive increase, especially when you consider that the drone itself is larger and heavier. Before setting up the drone for its first flight, let me quickly recap and show what's included. The drone body with the battery, the RC2 controller, charger, propellers, cables, plugs, and the usual accessories. Okay, let's set it up. I was worried I won't be able to register it in the United States, but it's actually FAA compliant, as you can see on their website. The startup sequence is now a bit more complex, and one change worth mentioning is that the drone automatically powers on as soon as all 4 arms are unfolded. Fast look into the very familiar Fly app. You will notice the icon for the vertical shooting right away. In terms of new features, the most exciting upgrades are the camera system. The main camera is now 100 megapixels, and the drone comes with 42 gigabytes of internal storage compared to just 8. The wide-angle lens can record up to 6K at 60 frames per second in multiple color profiles, including D-Log with color assist, which I use, and it works flawlessly. The zoom camera is basically the same as on Mavic 3 and records 4K 60. Telephoto camera now also supports D-Log, giving you more flexibility in post-production. There's also a slow motion option that wasn't available for the older models. Okay, let's start it up and see how it does. I must say it doesn't feel any different, and flying the drone for the first time feels very familiar, which is something I appreciate about DJI's lineup. Everything just works the way you expect. Firstly, I noticed that the battery life doesn't seem dramatically different. DJI claims up to 51 minutes of flight, about 9 minutes longer than the Mavic 3, but given the minimal battery capacity increase, I was skeptical from the start. The biggest change is the gimbal, which can now rotate 400 degrees and has a much wider vertical tilt range than before. Look how far it can go. It's 70 degrees upward movement. Also thinking it's good to note that Mavic 4 now has no controllable pan movement. I really missed that since the Mavic 2 Pro. The main camera lens is now slightly narrower at 28mm versus 24 on the Mavic 3. While the sensor is capable of 6K 60, in real-world testing the footage doesn't look different from the Mavic 3. Shooting in D-Log produces almost identical results, which means I can keep using my existing presets with only minor adjustments. One drawback I noticed was a bit of moire effect when filming water, something I'll compare more closely with the other drones in my upcoming full test. You can tell it's 6K as you can zoom in and it still looks great. Since this is on 4K timeline, the footage is only scaled to 64 to fit. This higher resolution gives you much more freedom to crop or reframe footage in post without losing quality when working on a 4K timeline. Again, I shoot in D-Log with the color assist for the controller screen, and you can say it's pretty accurate and on spot. The slow motion mode that wasn't available in older models, and it looks pretty decent. And it's worth mentioning it creates a fully usable slow motion 30 FPS clips straight from the camera. I also experimented with MasterShots, but the drone kept aborting the sequence because of nearby objects. Maybe the obstacle sensors are just too sensitive, or maybe it was the dragonflies flying around at the time. As for the zoom cameras, they are basically the same as on Mavic 3, with the telephoto one having a better sensor. Just like on the Mavic 3, the 26 digital zoom isn't really usable for serious work. So after these first impressions, here's my conclusion. If you already own a Mavic 3 Pro, there's not a huge reason to upgrade. In my case, I needed to, because my Mavic 3 developed a vertical gimbal wobble and horizon drift that made filming unreliable. Over the next few weeks, I'll continue testing and comparing this drone against my older models, and I'll share my full results in an upcoming video and see if my opinion changes. Before you go, hit that subscribe button and smash that like button if you enjoyed the video. And don't forget to check out my other videos. Thanks for watching.